Procrastination is not a harmless habit. It's a slow poison, quietly draining your energy, robbing you of time, and burying your dreams under the illusion of later. You don't postpone tasks. You postpone your life. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you're choosing to remain stuck, trapped, defeated. Comment, no more delay if you're ready to destroy procrastination for good. You think you're waiting for the right time, but time isn't waiting for you. It keeps moving, and every second that passes while you hesitate is a second that could have been used to move one step closer to your destiny. Every delay is a vote against your future, and you've voted enough times already. Procrastination disguises itself as rest, but it's not rest, it's rot. You sit still thinking you're preserving energy, but you're not. You're atrophying. You're weakening your drive. You're losing your edge. The more you wait, the harder it becomes to move, because stagnation breeds fear, and fear breeds regret. You already know what you need to do. It's not a mystery. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of decision. You hesitate because you're afraid to commit, afraid to fail, afraid to begin. But listen carefully. Inaction is a slow death. It won't just delay your dreams. It will erase them. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect plan. There is only right now. If you can't act when it's uncomfortable, you'll never act when it's convenient. Because success doesn't wait for conditions to align. It bows to those who move without permission. You want to win? Then start moving. Stop researching. Stop preparing. Stop praying for motivation. It's already inside you, locked behind a door labeled start, and the only way to open it is with action. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Comfort is the killer you invited in. It whispers sweet lies. Just one more break. You deserve to relax. You'll feel more ready tomorrow, but tomorrow is a lie. Comfort keeps you still while the world moves on. And when you finally look up, success has already left you behind. The harsh truth, you don't need more comfort. You need fire. Fire in your gut. Fire in your gut. Fire in your mind. Fire in your actions. Comfort is the enemy of fire. It puts out your spark, numbs your hunger, and replaces your purpose with peace that's too quiet. And peace without progress is just decay in disguise. Procrastination isn't about laziness. It's about fear dressed up as strategy. You call it planning, but you're hiding. You say you're waiting for clarity, but you're avoiding responsibility. Real clarity doesn't come before you move. It comes because you moved. Action creates clarity. Stillness only feeds the fog. Do you really want it, or are you just pretending? Because if you really wanted it, if you truly wanted to win, your actions would scream louder than your excuses. Winners don't wait. They move. They fall. They learn. And they rise again. Not tomorrow, but today, even if it hurts. Every day you delay, you get more skilled at waiting. And the more skilled you become at waiting, the more alien action feels. Soon starting becomes foreign. Movement becomes scary. And that dream, that fire, it starts to feel like someone else's story, not yours, not anymore. Break the cycle before it breaks you. Decide that comfort is no longer welcome. Decide that growth matters more than ease. Decide that your dreams are worth the discomfort, worth the sweat, worth the fear, and then prove it with movement. Not thoughts, not talk, movement. Time is the most ruthless force in your life. It doesn't stop. It doesn't slow down. It doesn't care about your feelings, your fear, or your excuses. It just keeps going with or without you. And every minute wasted is gone forever. No refund, no rewind. You think you're safe delaying today because there's always tomorrow, but one day there won't be. One day you'll wake up and realize you've run out of time, not because of tragedy, but because you traded your urgency for distraction. You didn't lose your dream, you gave it away. Ask yourself this: how many hours, days, even years have you already lost to hesitation? How much progress died in the waiting room of not now? You can't afford to lose any more. Time won't negotiate with you. It won't pause so you can feel ready. It only rewards those who move now. The most successful people don't have more time than you. They have more respect for it. They treat time like gold, like oxygen, like the rarest resource in the world, because it is. You're not short on time. You're just wasting too much of it on things that don't build you. Procrastination is a thief, but you're the one handing it the keys. Every moment you choose to delay is a moment you gave away willingly. Stop negotiating with delay. Stop tolerating hesitation. Start treating every second like it's sacred, because it is. Your future is being built with what you do right now. You want change? Then honor time. Respect the clock. Respect your life. No more loose ends. No more I'll get to it. If it matters, do it. If it builds you, pursue it, because the clock is ticking and you don't get a second chance at this hour. You don't just delay tasks when you procrastinate. You delay your transformation. Every act of hesitation reinforces the idea that you're someone who waits, someone who doesn't finish, someone who doesn't move, and over time that becomes your identity. You are not what you intend, you are what you do. If you want to change your life, stop trying to change everything at once. Change you, become the person who moves, who finishes, who shows up anyway. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you become, and it starts with the smallest decision. Act or don't. You've built habits around procrastination. You've trained your mind to default to delay, and now the only way out is through action. Action reprograms your brain. Action tells your mind, this is who I am now, not a thinker, not a planner, a doer. That's how identities shift, through repetition. You don't break the cycle by thinking harder. You break it by doing when it's hardest. Anyone can act when they're motivated. Winners act when they're tired, uninspired, and uncertain. That's the difference. That's what rewrites your wiring. That's what builds someone unstoppable. The most powerful transformation you'll ever experience won't be a change in goals. It will be a change in self-concept. Stop identifying as someone trying to succeed. Start seeing yourself as someone who does not quit, someone who shows up regardless. That identity is your armor. It's your engine. Reclaim your name. Rewrite your identity. Let your actions shout the truth. I am not someone who delays. I am not someone who hides. I am someone who shows up no matter what. Every day, every time. That's who I am now. Excuses are clever lies told by fear, and you believe them long enough. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. It's not the right time. These aren't reasons. They're rationalizations. Dress rehearsals for failure, and the longer you protect them, the longer you stay exactly where you are. No one ever built greatness with excuses. Greatness is built with action, with sweat, with struggle. You don't rise by explaining why you didn't try. You rise by doing it anyway. Tired, scared, unready. That's how real winners think. They don't wait to feel good. They create results that feel good. You're not too tired. You're under-challenged. You're not too busy. You're just unstructured. You're not lacking motivation. You're addicted to comfort. The moment you drop the excuses, you'll feel something powerful awaken inside you. The truth, the fire, the part of you that's ready to dominate. Discipline is not punishment. It's freedom. It frees you from regret, from wondering what could have been, from watching others pass you while you stand still. Discipline is the choice to suffer now, so you don't suffer forever. You either sacrifice for your goals or your goals become the sacrifice. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a brutal decision. Decide to show up without negotiation. Decide to be the kind of person who doesn't care about mood, weather, or opinion. Decide to be unstoppable, unshakable, and untouchable. That version of you is buried beneath your excuses. Dig them out. Excuses are heavy. Let them go. You've been carrying them for too long, and they're crushing your potential. You don't need a new plan. You need a new standard, one where you don't tolerate your own lies, one where action is non-negotiable. That's how greatness is born. Momentum is your greatest ally. Once you have it, everything becomes easier. But lose it, and every step feels like dragging concrete uphill. Procrastination doesn't just stall progress. It destroys momentum. And rebuilding it 10 times harder than keeping it going Every time you stop, you reset the climb. You throw away your altitude and start at the bottom again. That's why it feels like you're always starting over. Because you are. Not because you're weak, but because you haven't stayed moving long enough to see real traction. Success isn't a sudden leap. It's a rhythm, a beat, a repetition of forward motion. 1 hour a day, one hard task, one commitment followed through. That's how momentum is built. That's how the mountain gets climbed. Not in leaps, but in refusal to stop. You think rest will revive you, but rest without progress is rot. It's not helping, it's hollowing you out. The recharge you're craving doesn't come from the couch. It comes from progress, from completion, from knowing you moved forward when your mind screamed pause. Discipline isn't about intensity. It's about consistency. You don't have to go hard every day. You just have to go, even on the dull days, especially on the ugly ones. Because the person who keeps moving, even slowly, will outrun the one who waits to feel inspired. Momentum isn't a gift. It's earned. One action at a time. One choice at a time. You want to feel powerful? Then stop stopping. Keep moving. Even when it's boring. Even when it's messy. Because momentum is built by movement and destroyed by excuse. Every dream you've ever had is being held hostage by delay. The book unwritten. The business unlaunched. The body untrained. Not because you couldn't, but because you didn't, and deep down you know it. You've been watching your future pass you by in silence. Procrastination doesn't just delay achievement, it delays becoming. The longer you wait, the more disconnected you become from the version of you that was meant to rise. Delay isn't neutral, it's destructive, and every second wasted is another crack in the foundation of your potential. You think you're buying time. You're not. You're buying regret on credit, and the interest compounds fast. Before you know it, you're surrounded by what-ifs and could-have-beens. The dream didn't die because of enemies. It died in the grip of hesitation. Starved by your inaction, you don't get to escape the price. You either pay the price of discipline now or the price of disappointment later. One is temporary, one is forever. You decide. And the price of waiting will always cost more than the pain of starting. Always. No one is coming to save you. No spark, no miracle, no perfect plan. Just you and the decision to stop losing time. No more mental gymnastics. No more emotional justification. There is one path forward, and it begins with movement. Now, not when it's easy, not when it's safe. Now. This is your wake-up call. Not the first, but it can be the last. Decide that your past delays don't define you. Decide that every second forward is yours to reclaim. Say goodbye to waiting. Say goodbye to wishing. And say hello to war. The war against delay starts today. This is your moment. Not someday. Not next month. Not when life slows down. Now. The future you want is staring at you, waiting, but it won't wait forever. Either you take it or someone else will. Success doesn't have patience. It rewards the ones who move. You've listened, you've nodded, you've agreed. Now what? Because if you walk away from this unchanged, then nothing mattered. Not the words, not the truth, not the fire inside you. The only thing that matters now is what you do in the next 10 minutes. Will you act, or will you vanish back into your old habits? Procrastination thrives on silence, on comfort, on stillness. So make noise, make moves, break something, break your routine, break your hesitation, shatter it into pieces with a single massive, irreversible decision, the kind that flips a switch in your brain and says, I don't live there anymore. You want to know who wins? The one who decides. Not who dreams the biggest, not who talks the loudest, but who acts. The one who gets up even with doubt, the one who shows up even with fear, the one who moves first and moves fast. That's how you take your life back. This isn't a game. This is your life. You've been procrastinating on your calling, your health, your greatness. Enough. The clock won't pause for your fear, so neither should you. Do something bold today, uncomfortable, unapologetic, action that rewires your identity and announces, I'm done waiting. If you've made it this far, drop 100 in the comments. It shows you are part of the 1% that's improving every single day.